Hey everybody, it's Greg Miliatis from StreamLine, and today I'm going to talk a little bit more about AR filtering and doing some triage, quick triage using some easy filters with the AR tool. So collecting AR, as you probably know, if you've ever tried to do it in ProLaw, is a pain. Nearly all firms do the same thing, which is effectively nothing, because it's just so cumbersome to do it in ProLaw. So the few firms who do attempt to do it, they typically only look at the handful of clients who owe the most AR. And even doing that, though, in ProLaw is cumbersome. There's typically filters that you have to print it out or copy and paste information from ProLaw or from a ProLaw report into Excel, then do some filters and ordering. It's just super, super cumbersome. So that's why ProLaw firms don't do anything to collect. But there's actually a better way. The StreamLine AR Manager tool that I created, I designed it so with consultation with a number of other firms who were struggling to collect AR and they wanted a better way to manage it. So it basically answers three questions. How much AR is there and who owes it? What's been done to collect it? And then what do you want to do to collect it? Which typically means auto-generating and sending emails. And the emails are based on a template that we create for you. It's got all the summary of information for the client, all their AR, total now due, the original statements, payment instructions, all that information. And it actually stores all that, the email sent, in ProLaw, so that anybody can see what has been done to try to collect on the AR. So in this video, we're just going to do some quick triage and perusal of AR, basically how a lot of firms would be trying to look at their AR and figure out who to follow up on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some quick triage and perusal of the AR, like I've seen a lot of firms do it, or want to do it, I should say. The way they do it now in ProLaw is extremely cumbersome. They'll use multiple queries. They may copy and paste data into Excel and then try to peruse it in Excel, or print out paper reports and use highlighters. It's extremely cumbersome. So I want to show you a much simpler, much quicker way to do it here. Keep in mind that this is a demo database, so it doesn't have a ton of data in it. It's probably got maybe 10 or a dozen or so clients who have AR. In an actual database, like your database, you probably have dozens, hundreds, or thousands of clients who owe AR. That's far more typical for the firms that I've seen. So using the filters that I'm about to show you is going to be far more useful in your database where you've got a profusion of clients who owe AR. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically run a blank query. These zeros here and everything just indicate that I'm going to get all of the AR that's in the database. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to then peruse the AR on the client list. So it's going to query the database, it's going to assemble the data sets, then we're going to go to the client list. This is one row per client and billing contact. So now what I want to do is do some quick perusal. I can either look by the assigned attorney, do a quick filter there. I could also do an ordering here by AR amount. But what I want to show you here first is I want to see who maybe hasn't made a payment since before May. So I'll do that quick filter. It'll quickly show me all those. But I realize that there are some folks who have never made a payment. So I'll take this filter off, and there I can see a couple here that have never made a payment. So now what I want to do is I want to see when the last time was that I had contact with them about payment. Either I received or made a phone call or an email to or from them. So that's what this last touch indicates. It's stored in ProLaw. So I want to see when was the last time I did anything, and as you can see here, it's July 28th. So I want to see maybe everything that was done earlier than July. Do that, and then I can see a lot of this stuff was earlier this year. This one was last year. So it's been kind of a while since this client had anything done to collect for them. So again, in your database, you've probably got hundreds, if not thousands, of clients who owe ARs. So doing this kind of filtering is extremely useful and in an actual client database. Once I've found clients who maybe I need to circle back with, then maybe what I want to do is do some triage and only circle back with those folks who owe more money. So maybe I'll do a filter there, everybody who owes more than $1,000, and I can quickly see who owes that, and I can even probably peruse this by the attorney, that kind of thing. So this kind of perusal is extremely easy, very quick, and far less cumbersome than trying to do it in ProLaw. once you've done your triage, then you can choose to send out emails to those folks and that kind of thing. Very simple, very easy. As you can see, it's a much quicker, easier way to peruse AR than doing it in ProLaw. What I showed was just really scratching the surface on what the tool can do and how you can use it and how I've seen other firms use it. So I didn't even talk about how to send emails, how to configure emails, that kind of thing, perusing who was reached out to and what activities were done specifically, because it pulls that into the tool as well. So other firms are already using it. They're seeing that they're getting paid much faster. They're collecting on even really old statements that they never thought that they could collect on. It's a much simpler way to manage and collect AR. So again, it's a quick, easy way to see how much AR there is, who owes it, what's been done to collect it, and then you can decide what you want to do to collect it. Basically sending in the emails that are going to then start funneling cash to the firm. So if that looks interesting, if you think it might be useful for your firm, get in contact with me. There's my phone number and my email, and we can chat.